Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to another episode of Subconscious, a podcast made by two friends sharing their catch-ups from two different hemispheres. My name is Joseph, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Colin. We're two longtime friends sharing the new things we've learned every week before I was rudely interrupted.
We're keeping this.
Yeah. We hope you enjoy our casual chats while having a nice drink with us. So,
how are you, Joseph?
I'm good. I'm a little bit sleepy, but that's all right. I have my drink with me to keep me up.
Hmm.
And of course, an interesting topic from you.
500 Australian dollars that you have in coffee.
Nah, today I'm not actually having coffee.
Oh.
Today I am having tea, unsurprisingly.
Okay.
But I'm having hojicha, which is roasted green tea.
Oh.
And it's from Japan, a place called Shizuoka. And yeah, I went to this tea dessert place called Machaya here in Sydney. And they had these packets of hojicha. And I just wanted to try it out. And it's very nice.
Is it hot or cold?
Yeah, so it's hot. Well, you can have it as a cold brew too, but today I'm having it just tea bag boiled in hot water. I mean, but yeah.
How does it differ from normal green tea? Because it's roasted, right? Is there different flavors?
Yeah, so it's just the roasted notes of it is much more intense. It's very much it's a lot more fragrant.
Okay.
And instead of the kind of pale green color that you get from green tea, it's a brown roasted tea color. But yeah, I quite like it because I think it's more to do with how they're roasting it, but it has this very unique smell and fragrance to it, and it's quite pungent, and it's really nice, and it's really gives you a cozy vibe.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's pretty. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, check it out, hojicha.
Yep. Link in the description and bio.
Maybe.
Maybe.
So what topic do you have for me today, Colin?
So, I was watching a movie called Airplane, as I'm pretty sure a lot of people know it. It's this classic 1980s comedy.
Ooh.
And puns were littered all over the script. It was I swear, most of the jokes were puns, and they were pretty good ones. So I liked the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. I do prefer The Naked Gun, though, which is a later movie from the same people. But it was still pretty funny. Examples of this is I'm not sure if you've heard of this, but it's surely you can't be serious. And then the dude replies, I'm serious, and don't call me Shirley. There's also another section which I really liked where it said, Captain, how soon can we land? And then the captain went, I can't tell. You can tell me, I'm a doctor. No, I mean, I'm just not sure. Well, can't you take a guess? Well, not for another 2 hours. You can't take a guess for another 2 hours? It's just a strain of, double meanings that
This is appeasing the dad joke side of me.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's on Netflix too, at least in Hong Kong. But I'm pretty sure it's all everywhere. It's really funny. It's a great party movie. I'll give you that.
Ooh.
So I'm going to talk about what are puns and the different types of puns there are in the English language and beyond. But obviously sorry?
We're academiaizing puns now.
Yeah. I mean, the whole field of linguistics just got mad. But anyways, what is a pun? Pun is also known as paronomasia. which
Sure.
derives from the Greek word paranomazane, or zine, not too sure how you pronounce it, which means to make a change in a name.
Oh.
And yeah, Greek origins. And obviously, puns is a form of wordplay that kind of play on the multiple meanings of a term or of a sound for a very, intended humorous effect, let's just say. So yeah. Now I'm just gonna go on like what are the types of puns there are. Because I'm not gonna talk about like what else could I really go off on. Number one, there's homophonic puns. So these puns are words that sound the same but have different meanings. So just like we heard from Airplane, Shirley, I am serious, but don't call me Shirley. Here's another example. Why is it so wet in England? Because many kings and queens have reigned there. Yeah. So a lot of puns are like these, I can't really think of any other that on the top of my head, but if you think of any.
What would you call a good omelet?
Oh, excellent. Yeah, that would be homophonic. Then you have homographic puns, which is also referred to as a heteronymic pun. Okay. And this plays on words that are spelt the same way, but have a double meaning. And obviously, if it's spelt the same way, it also usually sounds the same way. And because these puns rely on spelling, they're visual, and you have to read it to be understood to at least get that
comedic effect.
Yeah. So here's an example that uses the word flies, like F-L-I-E-S. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. Yeah, it's the same sentence structure, but the meaning, the subject, and everything completely changes.
I don't know why I'm losing it over this one.
Another example is a horse is a very stable animal. Joseph is currently losing it on the other end of this Discord chat.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I'm like adding up like fuel.
Yeah. Moving on, we have a compound pun. So, what do you think that is, Joseph?
It's like two puns.
Yeah, literally, two or more puns in one sentence.
Wow.
So, here's an example of compound puns. Never scam in the jungle. Cheetahs are always spotted.
Yep. That's a compound pun, all right.
You got the cheetahs for the homophonic, and spotted for the homographic pun. And then, where do you find giant snails?
Where?
On the end of giants' fingers. Again, giant for the homographic, giant meaning the adjective or the noun, like a big person, and snails for the animal or nails to the giant.
That was a pretty dense one. That was a compact one right there.
Yeah, that's pretty compact. There's also a visual pun or a graphological pun, but let's just call it visual. Yeah. That does not use any like a literal, like literary writing. And these are achieved through use of graphics, logos. An example of this is like an image of a fork in the middle of a road. would that would literally mean
A fork
like
in
the
the
first like the figures. Yeah. Or the adage. Yeah.
Yeah.
And or like the Super Bowl to be replaced with an image of a bowl with the Superman logo on it.
Mm.
Or you can also do baking soda to be a bottle of soda who is baking something.
Nice.
And if anyone is interested, you guys can search up Ilse Bing, who is a Austrian photographer in the early 1900s during the interwar periods, who actually captured a photo of a man perfectly walking. There's this line of like bushes or trees that are like kind of cone shaped, and she captured a moment where a man with a top hat perfectly walks and replaces one of the bushes, and perhaps I would argue is a visual pun. And I do argue this because I wrote the docent notes for the place where I part-time at. It's like a photo we exhibited. So please be right, or I've been telling people the wrong info the whole time.
For the sake of your pride and ego, we'll go with yes.
Yeah. And also like truth in intellectual spaces.
I've got a premature fun fact.
Okay.
So you were mentioning the Super Bowl just now.
Yes.
So I don't know like how often you go on Reddit.
Not much.
But you know how like the subreddits work, right? You have like r/. Let's say for example, you're into basketball, then you might want to go on r/NBA, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So there's actually a subreddit. If you type in r/Super Bowl,
Okay.
you'll end up on a subreddit will have just a plethora of images of owls.
Why?
Because can you type out Super Bowl for me? Like one word. Because you can't have space, right?
Superb owl.
It's literally just
Oh, that's
subreddit
pretty funny.
full of owl pictures.
I feel like there has to be some sort of admiration for, I'm not saying this is dumb humor, but like dry, parallel thinking type humor. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, last pun group, obviously there are a lot more, but I'm just doing like the basic boys, is called a recursive pun.
Ooh,
and a recursive pun
fancy.
is one where the second aspect of a pun relies on the understanding of an element in the first. So basically, to understand the pun or the context of the pun, you would need to know some sort of context or reference first.
Right. It's like an inside pun.
Yeah, almost like a niche. For example, the statement, pi is only half a pie. Because in math. Yep. Or may the fourth be with you requires an understanding of the Star Wars movies and the phrase may the force be with you to acknowledge that this is the day and why the homophonic pun works.
Yep.
Or my favorite is, do you know what a Freudian slip is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's like when you say something. Oh, yeah. So to my understanding, it's like when you say something that you didn't mean to say, but it like is supposed to reflect what subconsciously you think.
Yeah. So this this example says a Freudian slip is when you say one thing but you mean your mother. So obviously that would require an understanding of what a Freudian slip is and Freud's theory of the Oedipus complex.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a recursive pun. So yeah, hopefully we've learned that next time when you say a joke that's related to a pun, the technical word that linguists would use, you know?
Yeah. Dang, we took explaining a joke like very literally. Like we just like you know how like explaining a joke makes it not funny?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we like meta analyzed it.
Yeah, literally. It's kind of like that new Netflix show. Was it The History of Swear Words? When people would analyze the word beep or analyze the word shit or whatever. And obviously, our editor, being the fantastically talented music graduate that she is, she's Teresa, by the way. I'm not sure if we've ever mentioned Teresa on our podcast, but we really value her, her talent in podcast editing and also the time that she spends editing these. So thank you very much. But yeah. Oh yeah. What I meant was like Teresa's going to beep those out and you would have heard it, by the way. But yeah.
So what time is it, Colin?
It is fact time. Also, I feel like the next episode I should say the intro and you should say, just flip things over, Just for one ep to see what people's reception is.
Sure. But like, what am I without my intro? I would feel empty. And no, I'm just kidding. How else would I warm up my vocals?
Yes. What is the fact this week, sir?
So I wasn't planning on that like Super Bowl thing, but my fact this week is about owls. And
wait, no. It just happens to also be owls.
Yeah. So fun fact, owls have weird legs. Like, okay. Like, Google, like, owl legs. Like, anyone with, like, the convenience of, like, a computer or a phone, like, just Google owl legs.
I'm doing it right now. I don't believe. I swear, it probably just looks like an eagle leg or a chicken leg. I swear. Did they have weird legs? Like images? I need to find one with legs. Or should I just search
Just
owl
search
legs?
owl legs. Like, you have to specifically search owl legs.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Isn't it so, like, it's so disproportionate.
It looks like it's like one of those. It just looks like a bird who's wearing an overcoat. Now that you think of it, because the legs are so long. What?
Yeah, because they're usually like in a perched like position where like you just see the majority of their body rather than like, and you just see like the claws. But like once you lift them up a little bit, you're just like, oh, that's a lot of leg.
This is like 70% leg for its height. Wow.
Yeah, very fun fact indeed.
That might be one of the best fun facts we've had so far. Wow. Oh no, look at this. I found a photo of someone putting like boots on an owl.
That's a cursed image right there.
Yeah, thank you for that horrifying image.
Yes.
Oh.
And on that nightmarish note, we'll catch you guys next week.
Goodbye.
See you later.